RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog, Willie Jack, and we are back. Back, baby. Back with more NFL action. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? You know, it's not a victory Wednesday for you, dog. You win some, you lose some, but you live. All right? You live to fight another day. Can't win them all. You know, y'all know all the cliche sayings. Y'all know all those cliche sayings. My Steelers took a rough one, man. We took a rough one Sunday night. But it's all right. Season ain't over after week 8. All right? The season is not over after week 8, so it's all good. It's all good. Now, how the rest of you? Hopefully everybody else enjoyed their Sunday football Sunday or your football Monday, depending on when your team played. But, yeah, you know, it's definitely a lot of stuff to talk about. Where's my banner at? Where's the title? Here we go. We definitely got a lot to talk about. Also now, the NFL trade deadline is approaching. I think officially the trade deadline is next week, but the trades are the movement has started. So there was several names that were several names today were traded. Several names today. What am I talking about? Several players today. All right, were traded. So you know that trade deadline frenzy, I guess, is warming itself on up. My Steelers being in the market, we've made a couple moves. Thank God. And so, you know, we may have time to dabble into some of that as well. And so we'll see how the night goes. We'll see how the night goes. But yeah, as far as the rest of y'all, okay, I see a few of y'all in the building already. What's going on? How you doing? How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Tap in with those three amigos. Like, share, subscribe. Say something to your dog. Drop something in my chat so we can get it going. Let's see. Oh, man. Looky here, man. The cap is back. He said, hey, what's going on, man? He said, what's up to the RBT family? What's going on, big dog? I tell you, man. Hey, man, we done missed you around these parts, dog. You know what I mean? We done missed you around here, big dog. Hey, I appreciate you, homeboy. Let's see what's in the building. Mondoose in the building said, good evening, Big Nation family. We back again for another blessed show, as always. Appreciate you. Rennie in the building as well. She said, it's time to get educated. Hey, I appreciate you know what's going on. Let's do it. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Then the rest of y'all, I see a few. See, look, I can see a few more of y'all in my views now. I ain't got all the comments in the chat. Drop some in the chat. Say what's up to your dog. For sure. Talk to me. You know I talk back now. Come on with it. But no, so definitely tons and tons of stuff to talk about, man. We had a lot of good games this past weekend. And I guess I can say even win, lose, or draw, you know what I mean? My Steelers on the losing end of one. But, you know what I'm saying? As long as I get some other good football to watch, you know what I mean? That'll helps ease the pain. Helps to ease the pain. Yes, sir. And matter of fact, I'll tell y'all what. Oh, yeah. We 5 minutes in. We're going to go ahead and get the party started. The rest of y'all going to have to get in where you fit in. Get in here, sit down, get real comfortable. And make sure you tap in. We're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. Where are we going to get started at? You know what? Let's get started with the Chicago Bears on the road against Baltimore. Now, this is how you make a bad thing worse. I was counting on the Bears to be able to beat up on the Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore Ravens. They've been taking whoopings from any and everybody this year except the Browns. No Lamar. That defense has been playing maybe one of the only defenses playing as bad as my Steelers defense. And you can't find a way to get this one done, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago really let me down. Baltimore, led by Snoop Huntley, man. And shout out to Snoop Huntley. Shout out to the Pro Bowler that is Snoop Huntley, man. The backup for the Ravens. He went out there and led the Ravens to a much-needed win. This is a very big win for the Ravens. For one, I believe they were either tied for last or they may have been last. Either tied for last with the Browns or just flat out last in the AFC North. All right. My Steelers end up losing to Green Bay Sunday night. The Bengals find a way to bungle one, up 2 scores in the fourth quarter against the Jets of all people. They find a way to let the Jets come back and win that game, so they also lose. And then the Ravens find a way to steal a win. And now they've got Lamar scheduled to come back Thursday night. It is a short turnaround, which is why I think they made the decision last minute, or as we got to the end of the week, they went ahead and made the decision to pull the plug, put the brakes on Lamar coming back for that Chicago game, sitting him out one more since it was going to be a short week Thursday. tomorrow against the Dolphins, so he'll make his return tomorrow. So this is a big win for the Ravens, for sure. Now they get that confidence and momentum. Lamar's coming back. Like, this is, if you're a Ravens fan, you should be feeling pretty good. And then also the way their schedule unfolds, these next 6, 7, 8 weeks, I think they'll play the other teams in the division. I think they'll play all of us again. So they'll get their second game against the Browns. And I think they'll have two games against the Bengals in this stretch, and one game against my Steelers as well. They get the Dolphins Thursday night. And so I think over their next 7 games, if you're a Ravens fan, you've got to look at these next 6 or 7 and think, we can run out 5 or 6 of these. Like, they can literally, if Lamar comes back, if Lamar comes back and is returns right back to Superman, if that defense finds a way to, I guess, play at least to the level that they played against the Bears, right? So 16-point performance. And they definitely have been playing cleaner ball the last 2 weeks as well. So if they continue that trend, it could be an exciting time for Ravens. These Ravens are in position to make a nice little run. And then for Chicago, they just couldn't get it going. Couldn't build on the momentum that they've been building, playing with as well over the last couple of weeks. As far as the game itself, Huntley was solid, 186 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception, added another 50 yards on the ground. Derrick Henry, it feels like we forgot all about Derrick Henry. It feels like Derrick Henry's been a forgotten man. So Lamar Jackson's been out for 3 weeks now? And you would have thought Derrick Henry was going to average 30 touches a game with Lamar being out. You would think they would turn and really, ride they other big dog. You know what I mean? They've got another elite guy on the team, and you'd have thought they turned to him, but it hadn't been the case. But in this game, they do. He has 21 carries, 71 yards. So a workman-style day, but he does get in the end zone twice as well. Caleb Williams on the other side throws an interception in this one. But Baltimore wins, and like I said, that was a very, very big win for Baltimore. It's a very big win for Baltimore. And so we'll see if they are able to carry on that momentum now that Lamar Jackson's back. Let me check my chat one more time, see if anybody's got in here. Keandre said 5, put the last 6 for KC. What you mean? Wait, 5 out the last 6 for KC. Wait, 5 out the last 6 for KC. 5 out the last 6 for KC. Hold on. 5 out the last 6 for KC. Because you got to remind me, because I'm trying to think, did I say something about Kansas City? I don't think we said nothing about Kansas City, bro. Or hit me in the chat, man. Let me know what you're talking about. My mind's all over the place. I'm still recovering from Sunday night. All right. If I look okay on the outside, I'm not okay. All right. I'm not. I'm still devastated. That my daggone Steelers at home went into halftime with a lead, came back, 19-16. Man, I can't talk about it. It's still too soon. It's still too fresh. It's still too soon. It's still too fresh. And so, yeah, man, we'll talk about it when the time comes. Let's see. Moving on. Buffalo goes on the road, and they put hands and feet on Carolina. They win this game 40-9. And, man, shout out to James Cook. James Cook went absolutely bananas in this game against the Carolina Panthers. And also a Carolina Panthers defense that they've played well in spurts. I definitely didn't imagine them getting 40 ball at the crib or James Cook going crazy like he did. 19 carries for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, including one that went for 65 yards. Big day for him. Josh Allen didn't have to do much heavy lifting. He did add 3 touchdowns himself, had 163 yards passing, a passing touchdown, had 2 short goal line rushing touchdowns as well for a 3-touchdown day. The 1 touchdown he did throw was a 50-yard bomb to Khalil Shakur as well. So did get explosive, but this was definitely the James Cook show. Andy Dalton made the start for Carolina in place of Bryce Young. Rough day for Andy, man. I forgot the red rifle was still out there floating around cashing NFL checks. I forgot all about it. And he showed us again why. 16 for 24, 175, no touchdowns, an interception, lost 2 fumbles. It was a very rough day at the office for Andy Dalton for sure. But Buffalo Cruisers coming off that bye, they had dropped 2 games going into the bye. They needed this bye week to reset, and they came out firing, man, especially with James Cook on fire the way he was, and they definitely get it done, man, dominating Carolina the way they did. Let me see here. Aim Ring said, don't talk about Lamar. And now I'm saying he's coming back. He said, Lamar hasn't started. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he been out. Oh, wait, 5 wins out of the last 6 games. Oh, okay. Are you saying that Kansas City is in that group of games as well? And so they could at best they can only win 5 6 because they got to play Kansas City. Okay, is that what you were saying? Okay. Now I dig. Okay, now I get you. Okay, my fault, cause I read it at first and I was trying to put it together, but okay, now I see what you was getting at. I mean, we'll see now. We'll see. Man, that Kansas City defense, dog, is that Kansas City defense is playing lights out. And I saw a stat, or I heard a stat. I don't know if it was either yesterday or today, but I think Spags and that Chiefs defense, they've allowed 3 touchdowns. They've only allowed 3 touchdowns in the last, I think it was like 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games or something like that. I mean, that Kansas City defense is playing fantastic football for sure. So no, that's definitely gonna be a challenge for sure. Wait, is that game in Kansas City or in Baltimore? I wonder as well. I wonder how many games they got until they run into y'all. Because like I said, man, Lamar comes back recharged, ready to go. Now here's another thing. Wait, hold on. Why we still? Oh, okay, yeah, we went back to talk about Baltimore. Here's another thing as well, man. If y'all saw, so it made news that the Ravens had cleared out all the locker room games. So like the ping pong, and I think ping pong is what they named, but whatever other games they had in the locker room. So it's common for most, if not all, the teams in the league that the locker rooms are outfitted for like entertainment as well. Because you got to imagine, like for the team, the players themselves, like they're in that building, in that facility, like they show up there not just on Sundays, but every day. You know what I mean? Like every day that they're not at home, they're in that building. And then when they're in that building, man, they're in that building for anywhere from 8 to 16 hours. And so these facilities, man, you've got to have somewhere to kind of relax and step away, even if you can't necessarily leave because of all the work and preparation that goes in. So, having like PS5s set up and ping pong tables and just whatever else, like those sort of things, they help with morale and they help kind of give guys a break and recharge themselves. So the Ravens, being on the losing streak that they had been on, it came out that all that good stuff had been pulled from the locker room. And it's not the first time that's happened. If you follow that type of thing, every now and again, there's a team or a coach or somebody that thinks they're going to get tough because they don't like how the team's playing. And so say, okay, let's pull out all this stuff. No excuses, nothing but business. So that was the thought from the majority of us, right, when we saw the news from Baltimore, because they had been losing. They're without Lamar. John Harbaugh's seat is as hot as it's ever been. And so that edict came from John Harbaugh. Well, Lamar came out in an interview and took it. He said, "Nah, man, that was me." He said he did it. Like he reached out to the equipment manager. It was like, "Nah, man, we need to focus up. Get all that out of here. Get it all out of here." And so he's the guy to make the call. And you know what? Honestly, now that I think about it, he did come up and I guess own up to it, right? Not to say he was trying to hide it, but it wasn't publicized. I guess it had just been assumed that it came from the coach because most times that's where that type of thing comes from. Well, I guess Marlon Humphrey, he has a podcast, and man, he be a little loose. He be a little loose at the lips, man, on his podcast. I've tuned in a couple times, and he's a little loose, man. Maybe he's not sure. He's still honing in his media skills, but he let it slip. They're like, nah, Lamar pulled all the games out the locker room. And then I think after that, Lamar, in an interview, I don't know if it came up, he was asked about it, but then he was like, yeah, I did that. I called the equipment manager, told him I want all that stuff out of there. It's time for us to focus in, lock in, and get to work. You know what I'm saying? We not XYZ. And he thinks he thought this would be something beneficial to get the team's mind back right. Now, also, I got to remind myself, was that before Sunday? Or did that? No, I'm assuming that had to come out. I'm assuming that would have happened before the game against Chicago. And then, honestly, if it happened before Chicago and then they won the Chicago game after losing like 4 in a row, then that's bad news bears for everybody else in the locker room because now the coach and everybody else is going to use that as an excuse. Y'all might not never get them games back. They definitely not coming back this season. Lamar already said that. But they may not put them back. Let Lamar and these Ravens get hot, and they can point back to Lamar taking away all the entertainment out the locker room. Then, boy, I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna let that go. But yeah, that's we'll see. We'll see if that's the magic trick, man, or if that could be the spark that they need, man, with Lamar coming back, hopefully, finally healthy, definitely well rested, and all that good stuff. Let me see. Day one gang Jarrell in the building, man. He said it's Wednesday. What's the deal, RBT fam? What's going on, big dog? I appreciate you. Let's say my dog Karen said it's Chris Jones heading out of his prime. Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean, what is he, 30? Is he 31, 32 now? 31, 32? And so I think that's fair. I still think he's got good ball left in him for sure. But yeah, no, definitely, man. I think Chris Jones he's got to be about 32, I want to say. And honestly, I mean, he's still, like I said, he's still got good ball. But yeah, if you're asking me, like, okay, like officially, is he, I think there's a clear difference in the level of play we saw from him, let's say, 3 years ago till today, right? And so if 3 years ago was like arguably like the peak, then yeah, you know, he's on the other side of that peak. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you outside your prime, but now at this point, I don't think that's a bad critique. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad critique at all. And then also, yes, because like one of the big things that's been a big weapon for him and a big weapon for y'all on that defensive line is like the flexibility he gets to just line up anywhere. So you got to remember, Chris Jones is 6'5", 6. He's a cool 310. And he might be close 310, 320. I don't know what he's weighing now. Let's say about 310 pounds, 310, 315, somewhere in there. And so he plays quite a bit of like wide nine. Like he'll put himself in a wide nine and rush against, you know what I'm saying, and rush against one of the tackles, like with a runway. You know what I mean? Or he'll flip himself and I mean, so he moves up and down the line. And honestly, well, I'm not gonna talk, not necessarily this Washington game, but let's say in that Jacksonville game where he put out some bad film, especially him just standing around the goal line on what turned out to be the game-winning or game-sealing touchdown from Trevor Lawrence, who got his foot stepped on, fell, picked himself back up, and then got in the end zone, and Chris Jones just on film, just standing there watching it all happen, just no effort at all. But in that game as well, man, like, I think that was the game where I was watching him lined up out wide, and it was like, you know what? That's not, like, it doesn't look like he had that same, he wasn't as much of a weapon. I mean, he just looked way more manageable out there, and maybe that's what I'm gonna say, because he's a mismatch given his size, and he's way quicker than you would expect him to be, especially given like how big of a human that he is, right? And so yeah, I think it's fair to say, man, he's probably lost a half step, right? He's probably lost a half step in the get off. You know, so I don't think that's unfair to say. I don't think that's unfair to say at all, Keandre. Not at all. Let's see. San Francisco, man, goes on the road to Houston and gets a win, man. And Houston gets a much needed win. Houston has been struggling, man. When I watched that Seattle game, and as porous as Houston looked, now that defense made some splash plays, but if they weren't turning the ball over, it felt like they were getting gashed. They were either getting gashed by Jackson Smith and Jigba, who was out there torturing any DB, including Derek Stingley, right? So if it wasn't them picking apart that defense, or them getting over aggressive, like with the double pass, the wide receiver pass from Cooper Kupp, that was just an easy touch. If it wasn't them shooting themselves, or Houston found a way to get their hands on a turnover, I mean, they were up and down. Seattle was up and down the field. It looked like there wasn't nothing that could be done. And then also on the other side, CJ man was a deer in headlights, man. He was getting abused. He had no protection. He was making bad decisions. The goal line fumbled. It was a touchdown that was fumbled, and then still not even a touch, or not even the crazy plays that happened. And so looking at that game, that Houston team that we saw 2 weeks ago against Seattle, man, that had me worried. I don't know if they were going to win 2 more games this season, right? But then they go out, like I said, they're a much-needed win against the San Francisco team that's been playing tough without Brock Purdy, with Mac Jones. Mac Jones has had some highlights before these last couple of weeks. He's, returned back to probably his average. or return back to what he is, right? But he had been playing well. They still are playing competitive. Christian McCaffrey's been dynamic on both sides of the offensive ball, rushing and receiving like he's known to be. So things were finding a way to remain competitive. Well, they get smacked in this one. Houston, like I said, much needed win. CJ, this had to be the best game he's played all year. 30 for 39, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did still throw an interception in this game. But the biggest story in this one, just the time of possession. Houston's defense absolutely controlled the game. San Francisco just couldn't get anything done, couldn't get any momentum. Houston had the ball for over 41 minutes compared to what I think San Francisco had the ball for 18 minutes in this game. That is a crazy, crazy disparity. I mean, that's 3/4 to 1. Houston had 3/4 of football to score 26 points. I mean, that's just a crazy time of possession differential, and definitely was a big part of that game for sure. Let's see. Moving on, Cleveland on the road against New England, and this game started out pretty close, pretty competitive. I think going into halftime. I know New England got a late field goal right before half, and I think that made the game. Was it 7-13 or was it 7-9? Because they got the late field goal. I know Dylan Gabriel threw that to the rookie tight end Harold Fannin Jr. on a hard play action. Definitely remember that. Myles Garrett had 2 sacks in the first half. Myles Garrett had a monster day. He had 5 sacks in this game. In the game, they ended up losing 32-13. But be that as it may, Drake May and the Patriots for sure. Drake May's playing damn good football, man. I was talking to some of my homeboys last night. I was talking to my dog Chop, my dog Miles. I was talking to my partners last night, and I'm like, bro, y'all watching Drake May. Drake May for me. And I got a lot of pushback on this last night. And it was crazy to me that people pushing back. I'm like, are y'all watching this? Bro, Drake May for me, he's playing right now, just 8 games into 2025. Who's playing better than Drake May? Who's playing quarterback better than Drake May right now? I don't know, bro. I was like, bro, he's top 2, and I don't think he's 2. Not right now. Not just over 8 games in 2025. I don't know who's playing quarterback at a higher level right now than Drake May. And I say that like as a combination of like everything that he's doing. He's incredibly accurate with the football. He's got a very strong arm, and he's being incredibly accurate with the ball, like down the field. Like this isn't a dink and dunk offense. This isn't Drew Brees averaging, 75 with a completion rate of 75% because he's throwing 2 and 3 yard slants to Michael Thomas 146 times a year. This ain't that. Like Drake May is dropping back, moving in the pocket, and throwing 40-yard darts, 30-yard darts, opposite hash, 20-yard outs. He is throwing lasers all over the place. And he's a spark in the run game as well. 40 yards, 50 yards, 60-yard rushing on top of 200, 250, 280 yards passing, 2-3 touchdowns. His interceptions are down. His turnovers are down. Like, he's playing fantastic football, man. He's playing fantastic football. And he's doing, like, who's on that Patriots offense that keeps anybody up at night? They've got an older Stephon Diggs, and I love me some Diggs, man. I love me some Diggs. They've got an older Stephon Diggs. They've got Keyshawn Butte, who was almost ran out of LSU. His draft stock plummeted from that last year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's been around for, I want to say, a couple years in New England. Now he's their top option, it looks like. He had another 75 yards and a touchdown in this one, right? I mean, like, so who's he playing with out there? Ramondre Stevenson that can't hold the football. Rookie Trayvon Henderson, who is a spark plug, and he's playing well. But there's not a lot of help on that offense. There's Hunter Henry at tight end, Austin Hooper, the backup tight end. Like, who's out there? Who's he playing with? And he's playing fantastic football. Now, I know what y'all gonna say, and I can admit this as well. Their schedule, they have had one of the softer schedules out of most teams going into this year because of how bad they've been. So even when people tell me about how soft the schedule is, I say, yeah. But that goes to show the schedule is so soft because that's how bad the team is. That's how bad that team is, minus Drake May balling and playing the way he is and really elevating that team. Drake May's playing fantastic football. I said all that to say Drake May's playing fantastic football. And right now, if we were just talking about 8 games into 2025, he's top 2 in my book. And I don't think he's 2. He's top 2, and I don't think he's 2 right now. He's playing fantastic football. So I want to shout out Drake May. In this game specifically, 18 for 24, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception in this one. And then he also added another 50 yards rushing the football. Fantastic. And he did this against the Cleveland Browns defense, which, let us not forget, completely stifled and dominated the Green Bay Packers, just 3 weeks ago. The same Packers that just put on a clinic offensively against my Steelers, right? So it's not like he did it against scrubs. And it's not like it was just slim pickings. Myles Garrett was an animal in this game. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks in this game. And it didn't matter. 5 sacks didn't even didn't slow down Drake May in the slightest. And still went out there and sliced and diced those boys up. Against the Browns, top 3 defense in the league right now? Top 3 defense, and they're not 3. They're a top 3 defense, number 3. For my money right now, on top of my head, best defense in the league is either going to be Cleveland or Kansas City. It's either Cleveland or Kansas City. 1 and 2. Whichever way you want to dice them, that's where I would go. And then on the other side, Dillon Gabriel, 21 for 35, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The game, there's not a lot that he's actually doing because, 150 yards on 35 pass attempts is atrocious. My God, it's less than 5 yards an attempt. That is atrocious. And then he did throw the first half touchdown pass to Harold Fannin off a hard play action. Good clean play. Hit the open guy, and he has another touchdown in this one as well. Those 2 bad interceptions. And then the worst play of the game, they're backed up on their own goal line. He's about 7 yards in the end zone. And he throws an intentional grounding to get a safety, which really helped to spread the game out, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So to get that safety, then they get the ball back to New England, and I'm pretty sure New England goes down and scores again. Right there. But just the game really came apart for him, especially in that second half. And people were people were finally thinking, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the game. Shedeur is going to get a chance. Shedeur is going to crack the lineup. Maybe it was looking like this would be the game because of how things fell apart for Dillon Gabriel, that boneheaded intentional grounding, the game being blown open. And like I said, this might have been an excuse to get you in there for a series or 2 and see what's going on. And it doesn't happen. And then when asked about it after the game, Kevin Stefanski, just flat out like he's not interested in playing Shedeur Sanders. And so, and I'm not surprised. I know a couple weeks ago when the Joe Flacco trade first happened, one of the things I talked about on that show, shout out to my dog Bowser, matter of fact, we were talking about what's the over-under and when we would expect to see Shedeur get a chance. I told y'all then, it's like, nah, man, I don't expect Shedeur to get an opportunity to hit the field until these last 4 or 5 weeks, man. I'm talking about week 12, right? The Browns are going to have to, I think they're 2 and, are they 2 and 4? Are they 2 and 5 right now with this loss to the Patriots? Are they 2 and 5? And so let's say they lose 3 out of the next 4. They get to like 3 and 10. Right, they get somewhere in there. Maybe then we finally see Shedeur get some snaps, and that's assuming that the boogeyman himself, Deshaun Watson, still doesn't come back. I know he's still working himself back from injury as well, and so I don't know what that timeline looks like. But for $50-something million a year, as soon as he can play, he's gonna play. The Browns have shown us that, right? And so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, it was a rough day to say the least for Dillon Gabriel for sure. Let me see what we got. Let me try to get through some of these other ones, man, so we can get some of these good games. Miami on the road at Atlanta. Miami bounces back and gets a big win, man, actually, man. So Miami had been in kind of a similar boat as Baltimore, just playing terrible football. Now, maybe not, we didn't have the expectations for Miami that we did for Baltimore, right? We don't hold them on the same level, but nobody expected Miami to look as bad as they look. And as they've looked from the outset of the season, they started off this year getting 30 balled by the Colts. Now, before we knew the Colts were going to look the way that they're looking, but still, nobody expected to see that. And then they proved much from that at all. Tua, it's been all in the media. He's been turning the ball over crazy. He's been the He's been subject to a lot of critique, a lot of it well deserved, right? And so Tua, as much or more than the Dolphins, Tua himself needed this performance that he gave Sunday against the Falcons on the road. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Let me make sure. Yeah, I had to make sure because it's been turnover Tua lately, man. 20 for 26, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Easily the best game he's played all year. He put up a lot of points. He stayed clean. Jalen Waddle, 5 for 99 and a touchdown. I always hate when I see a guy had 99 yards. It's like, come on, man. Even who's running the stats? This is the way. If I was running the stats, no, I couldn't turn in 99 yards for somebody. I just couldn't do it. It'd be a lot of plus ones. It'd be a lot of plus ones out there if I was in charge of the stats. 5 for 99 and 1 touchdown. Devon Achane played pretty solid in this one as well. 67 on the ground, another receiving touchdown. The rookie running back as well. Ollie Gordon, 46 on the ground, another receiving touchdown as well. Kirk Cousins had a very rough outing for the Falcons, filling in for Michael Penix. And they get smacked, man. But the Dolphins get a much needed win, and we'll see. Similar to what we said about the Ravens, right? Can they build on this momentum? I don't know what the Dolphins' schedule looks like going forward. I didn't care to look, but is this the spark that they need to maybe get themselves going, get some momentum going, and maybe they can, salvage this season? If not to say I don't expect them to go too far, but let's say they could salvage this season from being, if anyone fired. Like they were fireable performances. Like if they were kept going the way they were going, I don't see how you're going to bring back Mike McDaniels and or Tua. Somebody was going to have to take the fall. So let's say if they can at least salvage that and get themselves maybe at least in contention for that 7 seed or something. I mean, if you're a Dolphins fan, that's at least what you got to be hoping for. And so we'll see what happens there. Let's see. The New York Giants. Man, tough game here, man. New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. And you know what, Day One Game, Jarrell? We got to talk, man. We got to talk about your Eagles and what happened in this game. So, Eagles get the win in this one, 38-20. And there's 2 key things, I guess, are 2 key headlines that came out of this game. For one, as y'all can see in the title right there, standout rookie sensation, man. Scatterbo, the rookie running back for the Giants. Man, spark plug, entertaining, whatever you want to say about him, had really become kind of he was the juice, man. He was the juice on that team. He was kind of the heartbeat of that team. And everybody, kind of fed off his energy, his charisma, not including Jackson Dart, you know what I'm saying, who they turned into kind of running mates there. And then to see Cam Scatterbo lose his rookie season, man, to the injury that he sustained in the game. Broke his ankle or dislocated his ankle. And then I don't know who the hell was working the TVs. Was that on Fox, right? Who was working Fox Sports cameras that day? Because they kept showing, because normally when there's a gruesome injury, when somebody's foot is turned the wrong way, you know what I mean? When somebody's foot's turned the wrong way, we don't want to see that. You know what I mean? We don't want to see it. Man, not only did they show it, they just left the camera. The man is sitting there holding his foot, and he's holding his leg. He's got his leg pulled up. His foot's twisted around the other way. Disgusting. I'm telling you, I don't know what in the world was going on. I didn't know the NFL Sunday should be rated R. I don't know what that was about. But, man, it was a terrible injury. Hate to see it. Hate to see it anyway. Hate to see anybody get injured, especially severely, where you're going to, lose a season. And so, man, that's terrible for man, our dog Scatterbo, man. Speedy recovery, man. Get well soon and all that. But that was a tragic part there. Now, getting to the rest of it. Man. This daggone tush push. My dog, Day One Gage said hates to see it. And this thing, I'm not against the tush push at all, because, like I said, stop it. I mean, you got to stop it. I don't think they should ban it just because it's hard to stop. That's not a good enough reason. But now I've seen talks that, because it's so hard to officiate, that might get it banned, because the officiating around the tush push is so much of a storyline week over week. In this game specifically, All right. There's a big, I'll say it was a fourth down. Was it I want to say it was a fourth down conversion. It might have been third down. It might not have been fourth down. Let's say it was like a third and short, 3rd and 1. So it's tush push time. Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying? They're pushing. And as he's getting pushed, he stretches the ball out in the dog pile to try to make sure he gets the first. Almost instantly that he extends the ball, it's knocked out of his hands. It's a forced fumble, recovered by the Giants. I want to say it's Kayvon Thibodeau. Either Brian Burns or Kayvon Thibodeau, but I think it was Thibodeau. Because Burns normally plays on the left side, I feel like. And it was the right outside linebacker. Kayvon Thibodeau punches the ball out, recovers it. Then, no whistle, mind you. There's been no whistle blown at all at this point. Giants get the ball, pick it up, try to run or whatever the case to make sure that the play's going to be blown dead. And then we get the whistle, and the referee comes in, waves it off, and said, the play was dead for forward progress. Bro, this one, day one game drill, this was egregious. Like, the false starts, I'm not overly mad about the missed false starts. And I'll tell you why I say that. I'm not overly mad about the missed false starts because it is something that's hard to catch live, right? Like the false starts. The right guard, he leaves early, boy. I feel like I think what it is, and I don't know if I'm crazy, and maybe they've tweaked this since then now that it's been exposed, all these false starts. It was almost feeling like there is no snap count. Maybe the center is really snapping it on the right guard's movement. Like the right guard is firing and the center is snapping because the right guard beats the snap 90% of the times, it feels like. So I was like, what if that's the key? What if that's why they're so good at it? Because everything that Jalen's doing or the center's doing is just dummy. That's just dressing, window dressing, and that where everybody's going on the right guard's movement. As soon as the right guard fires off, center's snapping right there in that split second, and then we're going so they get that extra edge of that jump. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know. Maybe that's the secret sauce. Now, that's one thing. Because live, like that's hard. And everybody's 6 inches apart, damn near nose to nose, diving into each other. It's hard to call that live. I get it. In the replays, when we slow it down, then yeah, it's egregious. But live, I'm not mad that they missed those calls live. Now, maybe there's some that have been more obvious than others, but I'll let that live. This fumble, and matter of fact, where you at day one game drill? Let me see what you thought about this fumble, dog. I got it. Let me see. Hey, there you have it. My dog, day one game drill. All right, he's our resident Eagles super fan. He just said it. Man, that was clearly a fumble. This is egregious, right? And so the guy comes in. He says, it was a dead ball for forward progress. I don't see how. Because if anything, because even when those scrums are happening, they let them push against each other for a hot little second or two, some longer than others, which pisses me off because, like some teams get an extra 2 full seconds to try to push and then they get the extra 2 yards. Some teams only they don't get any extra push or anything at all. It's a quick whistle. So that's inconsistent. But there was no whistle. So if you're going to say that it was a dead ball because of the forward progress have been stopped anyway, then where was the whistle at, Mr. Referee? What's the excuse for not blowing the whistle? Because if the whistle's not blown, then the play's live. That play was live. And forward progress hadn't been stopped. They're still moving. He went to stretch the ball. As soon as he stretches, knocked out. Like it was ridiculous. And there we go. Just like my dog Day One Game Jarrell said, this is what I was going to say as well. Because they were treating it, the referee treated it like it was a goal line play. Like as soon as the ball touches the line of the game, it's a touchdown, so the fumble doesn't matter. He treated it like that. Like, nah, bro. We're at the 50-yard line. It's the middle of the field. There is no goal line. No, man. It's a live ball. He stuck out a live ball and fumbled. Had it knocked and lost the church's money. Like, yeah, exactly, bro. That's exactly what he treated it like it was a goal line. And then the other referees, when they huddled and talked about it or whatever, I can't believe that in conversation, because sometimes they can catch one of each other slipping, they can conversate, and then they can put their heads together and come back like, hey, after quick review or discussion, boom, boom, boom. They didn't even fix it. They let ride. Somebody let that ride. And then I think it was reviewed. Was it challenged or reviewed? I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was challenged. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was challenged and then upheld on challenge. I mean, that was terrible. That was an egregious call. Now, I'm not going to say that that's going to be what cost them the game. In the end, they end up winning this game by 18 points, right? 3 scores. But also, man, what we don't take into account is like game, because momentum is real, man. It's intangible. We can't quantify it tangibly, but it's real. And so, who knows? Because I want to say that was 4th down. Day one game drill, man, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say that was 4th down. So if they get to stop there, it was right at midfield. Now they've got a short field. Maybe they score. I don't know. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, so it was terrible, man. Dog, hey, do you feel me? That's what I'm saying, bro. Because it feels like every time I've seen one of those replays, it's always the right guard, dog. Or at least in my mind, maybe that's what I told myself. I was like, man, why? It's always the right guard. Has he always half a heartbeat early? So that's why I'm like, bro, maybe that's the sauce. We think they going on Jalen. Jalen's back up with the hard count. Green 80. All of that. You know what I mean? The center, he's making, you know what I'm saying? He's doing all this. Maybe he's lifting his head up, trying to throw people off a little bit. But no, none of that's the snap count, man. Maybe they're going on the right guard leaving early. Right? Hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is, dog. Hey, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is, man. Maybe that's what it is, dog. I'm just saying. Hey, man. Day one game, Jarrell. Come on, man. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Man, hey, Keandre, what's up? Hey, you back. You back. Where's you at, man? My dog. My dog. But man, it makes me wonder, dog. It makes me wonder. Maybe they going on the right guard. Dog. I don't know, but we shall see. But no, they do end up getting out of there with the win. Pretty much took control of it, especially when Scatterboo went down. I mean, for all intents and purposes, man. I mean, this is a team that's already lost a premier weapon anyway in Malik Neighbors. As soon as Jackson Dart gets into the game to start, Malik Neighbors goes out, like, was it 2 series later? I mean, almost instantly. They lose Malik Neighbors for the season. And then, we get Scatterboo, who really burst onto the scene, right, and kind of fills that void. He kind of replaces the juice that they lost from Malik Neighbors. Well, now they had to rally behind Scatterboo, right? And now he's out. And so I'm not sure I'm anxious or curious to see what the Giants look like going forward, man, without that spark, without that plug, without that. He was the heartbeat of that team in 8 weeks. 8 weeks as a 4th or 5th round rookie running back. And he really took over that locker room, man, as the charisma guy, the juice guy, the guy that gets everybody going, the guy that gets everybody fired up. He's that spark that can help turn the tide, to turn the momentum, and now you lose him as well. So curious to see what they look like going forward. As far as Jalen Hurts, man, very clean day, 15 for 20, 180 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Saquon really got going in this one. It had been a quiet few 2-3 games for Saquon. He got started in this one right out the box. I think he took 165 to the crib. Was it his 3rd carry of the game? 2nd or 3rd carry? I mean, it felt pretty early on. 65 to the crib to really kind of set the tone for the day. He finishes with 14 carries for 150 yards. He did have another receiving touchdown as well. Tank Bigsby, backup running day, he had a big day. He had 9 carries for 104 yards. And so this Giants defense got gashed in the run game all day long. I mean, but between Barkley and Tank Bigsby, 250 yards on just 23 carries for 22 of them? Like, bro, that is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy production. So that running game was definitely firmly in control. And then Jalen Hurts, for his part, man, being clean and delivering the ball, man, throwing touchdowns up the field, man, off the strength of that strong running game. Devontae Smith, 6 for 84. Dallas Goedert had 2 touchdowns in this one. Jahan Dotson had a 40-yard touchdown reception as well. So big day for that Eagles offense for sure. Let's see, my dog, Day One Game Jarrell said, the question is he a legit starting running back, though? And you know what? That's a fair question. Because coming into the league as well, like that's one of the things I thought. I didn't think he could be a guy that could be your every down starter. Like I just didn't think I just didn't know I was gonna translate, man. That Peyton Hillis, Mike Allscott, that, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, like just head down and just dive into people's chest, that old school Earl Campbell. Like that stuff doesn't really fly these days, man. You know what I mean? Like it generally doesn't, right? You gotta have more than that. Right? You can't just put your head down and just rattle forward for 3.5, 4.5 yards. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work again. So I didn't think so. But the Giants he started that game against the Eagles because he wasn't the day one starter out the gate. And what's crazy is last year they had rookie Tyrone Tracy assume the starting role, and he played well for a stretch there last year. He had been supplanted as a starter by Cam Scatterboo. I want to say Cam definitely started that Eagles game. And honestly, I can't remember if he actually started the game or two before then, but he's definitely, if he hasn't been starting, he's been like he's in on the first series. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely been integral. And so I think yeah, man, I think definitely for sure like with the style of offense, like I don't think he's a starter for every team. Like, I don't just think he just shows up somewhere and he can just line up in your backfield and beat Jonathan Taylor. Like, no, I don't think that's it. So I think it does have to be the right team and the right circumstance, right? The right roster. There's nobody else really in that Giants running back room that, you know, that is uber talented or that, you know, like I don't think if he's in the same backfield with Trayvon Henderson with the Patriots, I don't think he's getting touches over Trayvon Henderson, or like he's like starting over Trayvon Henderson, or over Quinshon Judkins, the running back for the Browns. Like if he's on that roster, well, I don't think he's starting over that guy. So, you know, I don't think he's going to be everybody's cup of tea. But, you know, just the cliche saying, the ones who get it, get it. You know what I mean? The ones who get it, get it. Like if you have the team chemistry and the unorthodox kind of offensive scheme or nature of that the Giants play with, then yeah, I think so, man. I think in specific circumstances he can. Now, also, let's say even if he's the lead back, I still think you'll want like a complimentary back to pair him with, like somebody with some real juice or explosion, because that is something that's, you know, not necessarily a part of his game, but he is brute force. He is balls to the wall, all out effort and aggression. Right, so he is all those things. He's got pretty good hands. He had good hands coming into the league from Arizona State. Like he was a very reliable part of their police. If that playoff game against Texas is any indication, so he was a very reliable piece of that pass game as well. But yeah, no, man, I think there's a spot for him. I don't think he's a clear cut everyday starter for 32 teams, but I do think that in the right situations, man, I think definitely he could be a starter for you. For sure. See, moving on, man. The New York Jets on the road against the Bengals. We talked about this Sunday, man. This was the last dance for Justin Fields. This was it. And you know what? I should have made a real amazing content. And you know, it ain't too late. I still might. Because I told y'all on Sunday live, changed my pick, and I picked the Jets in the upset. And I said, you know what? Because I was sitting there talking about, man, this is it for Justin Fields. This is it. He's about to go to the quarterback elephant graveyard, man. He's gonna likely disappear for the next 2, 3, 4 years, and then he's better hopes he get a chance to resurface, like we saw Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Daniel Jones. Right now, we talked about all that on Sunday, and I said, you know what? He's got nothing else to lose. He's gotta let some of that fear or inhibition or his you know, confidence issues. Like he's got to let all that go and realize, like, man, there is no tomorrow, so I've got to go all out. And so I said that maybe that'd be the motivation for him to play, you know, to go out there and get a win. And I changed my pick to calling the Jets an upset. It did out that way for sure. Cincinnati came out. The Jets had an early failed 4th and 1 conversion. It was a toss sweep on 4th and 1. Dumbass call. But anyway, they get stopped. Cincinnati scores again on the short field now. And so it looked like it was going to be more of the same. They do end up finding a way to kind of get it going. Honestly, it was the running game. Breece Hall was fantastic in this game. Justin Fields, for his part, he was clean. He didn't turn the ball over. He did make some pretty good throws in this one. He used his legs as well. And so Justin Fields throws for 244 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception, another 30 yards on the ground. Did he run a touchdown in? I want to say he either ran a touchdown or was that a 2-point conversion. I want to say he ran a touchdown in. I believe he ran a touchdown. That scramble into the right side of the end zone, I want to say that was a touchdown, not a 2-point conversion. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a rushing touchdown as well. And then Breece Hall, man, this is the Breece Hall show. 18 for 133, 2 touchdowns on the ground. And then Breece Hall actually threw that would end up being the game-winning touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown pass to rookie tight end Mason Taylor there at the end of the game. Was that the touchdown or the 2-point conversion? No, I think that was the touchdown. You know what? Maybe Justin Fields did have a 2-point conversion. I think that was the touchdown. And then, no, the 2-point conversion had to be reviewed. So he did get a rushing touchdown. But Breece touchdown pass to Mason Taylor. They go for 2 to win the game. Looks like maybe Justin bungled it. He's getting sacked. He's laying out. It was almost reminiscent of that Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes against the Niners, if I remember, where he was almost laying flat out, like stretched out, almost flat, falling onto his stomach and throws one sidearm that was incomplete, but it was a damn good pass. It should have been caught. Justin Fields had a play similar to that, but it was for the 2-point conversion. And the Jets player, I can't think who it was, one of the tight ends, but not Mason Taylor, the other tight end, I believe. He catches the ball roughly at the goal line and gets tackled, and it looks like he's short. So he gets tackled on the 1-yard line. The initial call was that he was out. That he caught it, but he wasn't in the end zone. So they actually review it, and they end up overturning it and giving the 2-point conversion. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still not sure it happened. I'm still not sure he got it. When he catches the ball, he's roughly right on the line. But I don't know. I don't know. But they're saying they gave him credit for catching the ball and I guess bringing it in with all it takes is just the nose of the ball on the line. And then he gets hit and tackled and he falls a yard out. But they end up giving it to him. And so huge play there. The Jets complete the comeback. They take the 1-point lead. Cincinnati does get the ball back with some time to score. They get a big chunk play. They get the midfield. And then that Jets defense, which hadn't shown up all day, they do show up on that final stand. And they do keep the Bengals out of field goal range. And they end up winning that game 39-38. And so terrific win for the Jets. The first win of Justin Fields' tenure as a Jet. The first win for new head coach Aaron Glenn, right, since he's came over from Detroit. And also this win on the heels of the comments that the owner, Woody Johnson, had made. Like it was no small secret that he was taking shots at Justin Fields in the press. And then for Justin Fields, who was also scheduled to be benched going into this game. Tyrod Taylor was supposed to start this game. Tyrod can't start due to injury. Justin Fields gets one last chance, goes out there, and they find a way to pull off this win. So fantastic play, fantastic win for the Jets. And now kudos and congratulations to them. On the other side, Flacco was good in this game as well. Flacco's been playing damn good since he's been in Cincinnati for sure. 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception. He also had a rushing touchdown in this one. The run game was huge for the Bengals as well. Samaje Perine, he's generally the backup for the Bengals. Nine rushes for 94 yards and a touchdown. Chase Brown, the starter, 12 for 73 and a touchdown. He also had a receiving touchdown. Chase had 90 yards in the air. T. Higgins, quiet there for T. Higgins. He had a 40-yard touchdown catch in the first half. Didn't have another catch the rest of the game. But that offense was talented, and now Joe Flacco got a taste firsthand of what it's like to be Joe Burrow. You go out there, you score damn near 40 points, right? You do everything offensively that you wanted to do. You didn't turn the ball over, and yet and still you still find a way to lose a game like that. And so Joe Flacco definitely feeling the pain that Joe Burrow's been feeling for these last, 5 years now, which was crazy. Rennie said he thought his knee was down. On that Justin Fields pass, it did look like it, but when they showed the replay, he's stretching out, and he looks like he got it off right before that leg finally hit the ground. But live, it did look that way as well. But I think I was cool with the knee because I thought it was a chance he got the ball off. I'm still not sure that the ball crossed the line though. I'm still not convinced, and I've seen the replay a handful of times, and I'm still not convinced that the ball actually touched the line. But I'm not mad that it did. I needed those Bengals to lose, especially after the Bengals just beat my Steelers. Then my Steelers went on to lose to the Packers, so I definitely needed the Bengals to choke this one away. And then, of course, the Browns lose, which I also needed, which was great. But then the freaking Ravens find a way to win with Snoop Huntley at quarterback and ruin my night. But be that as it may, this is a big win for the Jets for sure. And now let's see what type of momentum that they can maybe build. See if they're able to salvage this and turn this into something. Let's see. Tampa Bay on the road at New Orleans. They get this win 23-20. It's a relatively quiet game for Baker. 150 yards, no touchdowns. Emeka Ibuka didn't even do anything crazy. This was more about the defense and being opportunistic on defense. Spencer Rattler, who had been playing well these last two weeks for sure, have been his worst football. But Spencer Rattler has been, I'll say he's been impressive considering, right? Because this is a late round quarterback. He wasn't a highly touted guy. Well, he was a highly touted guy going into college. It didn't pan out. He moved around a couple times. He goes to South Carolina. Still doesn't like the word on fire at South Carolina, but he gets drafted late. I want to say 5th or 6th round to the Saints. He was never meant to be, the guy. Derek Carr retires unexpectedly because of an injury. They go out and draft Tyler Shuck at the top of the 2nd round. They plan on him winning the job at being the guy. Well, he doesn't win the job. Spencer Rattler wins the job. And then even when Spencer Rattler won the job coming out of camp, they couldn't have imagined that he was going to play as well as he did. He played well. The Saints didn't win games, but it wasn't because Spencer Rattler cost them games. And so that's kind of the dynamic. But he has had a rough last 2.5 games for sure. This one starts off with an unfortunate pick 6, right? I think they were backed up inside their own 20 anyway, I want to say, or even inside their own 10. Unfortunate play, deflection or interception by whoever the outside linebacker for the Bucs was at the time, and he runs it in as a pick 6. He also, he also lost a fumble as well. So he had 2 quick turnovers right there in the first half. He gets benched. Tyler Shuck comes in. Tyler Shuck doesn't play great. He plays worse than he finished with a worse stat line than Rattler. 17 for 30 for 128 yards, and he also threw an interception. Now, he didn't have a pick 6, but he also threw an interception. So not a great game by Tyler Shuck at all. But the decision has been made that Spencer Rattler is going to the bench. Tyler Shuck is going to get a chance to now be the starter and see what you have there. And I can see, I thought that was too harsh. I thought that Spencer Rattler deserved at least another game. He played well for about 4 games where they were struggling, did lead them to, was the quarterback when they got there first. They only got 1 win on the season, right? And so, but he hasn't been the reason they're losing. He has had a rough couple weeks, but I would have thought that his good far outweighed his bad. And I would have thought that maybe you pull him in this game. Okay, I don't hate that because it was getting out of hand quick. 2 first half turnovers, both of them on the short field. One of them was a pick 6. That fumble, I think, was a short field fumble. It led to a touchdown or led to a score. And so I get it. But then to just completely turn the page without at least getting him a chance to respond this week, I would have thought he got this week to redeem himself or respond. They didn't even give him that. So they pulled the plug. Now, looking deeper into it, we have to be reminded that Spencer Rattler wasn't the guy drafted by this coaching staff. Kellen Moore came in. And took over the head coaching job for Dennis Allen for this season, and Tyler Shuck is the guy he went and got. So he had his pick. Now, he wasn't going to get Cam Ward because Cam Ward went number 1. That was no secret. Jackson Dart went Jackson Dart went. He didn't have them, but he definitely had his pick of, Shador, Tyler Shuck, handful of other guys. So that Shuck is the guy they wanted. They picked him right there at the top of the 2nd round. And so it looks like Spencer Rattler, the leash was super short. They wanted their guy to win. They expected him to win the job, or at least that he would have an opportunity to get on the field legitimately before now. It took this long, but now first opportunity to get they pull the plug and put Shuck in there. And honestly, it makes sense still, like I was saying, because the way this team is trending, they're still going to be a top. They're going to be a top 5 team this upcoming offseason. So you need to know, like, are we going back to the quarterback well at the top of this coming draft, or did we hit on Tyler Shuck? Is he going to be able to be a guy that we can feel comfortable with going forward, and then maybe we use that top 5 pick to add some real talent to this roster, because this roster is in bad shape in a lot of places. And so from that aspect, I guess I can understand, but it still feels like Spencer Rattler definitely got the short end of the stick. Let's see, my dog Day One Game Jarrell got one for you. He said, this shows that Shedeur could have been playing, but we ain't got to revisit it. I don't disagree, man. I don't. And the truth about it is, for the most part, because there's just, if you're anti-Shedeur, you're just anti-Shedeur, and it's not going to matter. You're just going to lean into, he's a 5th-round pick. 5th-round picks don't deserve it. But that just completely ignores the context that no one at all had Shedeur Sanders stamped as a 5th-round quarterback. It was clear. It was pretty clear and obvious for a lot of folks that he wasn't the number 1 quarterback. But you're not going to tell me that he was evaluated on any of these guys' boards, or Rex Ryan or whoever else, that you had him evaluated as a 5th-round quarterback. So I don't want to hear these talk, well, he's a 5th-round quarterback. He doesn't need any. Like, that's ridiculous. And so, yeah, I don't think it's a question for most people who can look at it objectively that Shedeur is good enough to at least have a shot at playing. And Dylan Gabriel's play isn't good enough to keep him on the bench, or at least not get a look like we just see Shuck got a look from Spencer Rattler. And Spencer Rattler's been playing levels above what we've seen from Dylan Gabriel, and he got pulled at the first, maybe not the first sign of trouble, but he got pulled with a pretty short leash. And so for Tyler Shuck, and so, yeah, man, that whole Shedeur situation is, that's, I don't even know what to say about it, man. I'm thinking, like I said, I'm still thinking that maybe once Cleveland to 10 losses, and 10 losses is coming for Cleveland. Once they get there, then maybe the noise is going to be too loud, and then maybe we should get a look in the last 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks of the season, that sort of thing. But outside of that, if Kevin Stefanski has anything to say about it, Shedeur Sanders will not touch the field this year, is what it looks like. Let's see, moving on. Dallas on the road at Denver. Dallas gets smacked in this one, man. Dallas had a big win themselves, doubling up the Commanders. Was it the same score? Or no, it was a similar score, 44-22 just last week. And then you come out and you go on the road to Denver. Denver, who had a very big, impressive comeback victory over the Giants just last week. And then they come out and they put it on Dallas, man, 44-24, completely dominate this one. Bo Nix and that offense really had it going. Let me see. Let me give you the numbers, because I think he actually put us decent. Yeah. Here we go. Bo Nix, 247 passing yards, 4 touchdowns in this one. Did throw an interception. A big day on the ground for J.K. Dobbins and rookie R.J. Harvey. J.K. Dobbins goes 15 carries for 115 yards. Rookie R.J. Harvey, 7 for 46 and 2 touchdowns. Also had a receiving touchdown in this one. And then Troy Franklin, receiver out of Oregon, played at Oregon with Bo Nix, actually. He has 89 yards and 2 touchdowns in this one as well. For that Broncos offense rolling on both sides, passing and rushing. And then also for me, I'm happy to see R.J. Harvey had the success he had. Honestly, R.J. Harvey for me in this draft, I think R.J. Harvey was RB2. I had R.J. Harvey ahead of Amarian Hampton. I had him ahead of Caleb Johnson that my Steelers took in the 3rd round. I had him ahead of Quinshon Judkins and Trayvon Henderson. I really liked what I saw from R.J. Harvey's film from Central Florida, I want to say. Unless I'm confusing him with one of the other guys. My running back rankings this year were a little eyeball. This is a very, very good deep running back class, but I was a little unorthodox, man, in how I saw the running backs. I want to say I had Ashton Jeanty number 1 for sure. I think that was universal for most people, right? But I think I had R.J. Harvey too. I had R.J. Harvey top 3 for sure. I definitely had R.J. Harvey top 3, but I want to say I had him 2 behind Jeanty. So I really liked his game and what I saw from him at Central Florida. He has a big day in this one, like I said, 2 touchdowns, 3 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air, so big game there. Then on the other side, this for me, man, was Dak Prescott. It's easily Dak Prescott's worst game of the season. But I'll tell you another thing. And maybe these are hot takes because, like what I said about Drake May. Drake May for me was playing top two. He's the top two quarterback in the NFL just for this season. He's playing, I think, better than just about anybody. The only other quarterback that I had in consideration for the best right now, 8 weeks in, the other guy I had in consideration was Dak Prescott. And so Dak's been playing fantastic football, and he's been doing it with a terrible defense. The Cowboys have a bottom 3 defense in the league. The Cowboys, my Steelers, the Jets, the Ravens, right? These are the bottom 4 defenses in football. But Dak Prescott in that offense, Dak's been rolling. And Dak's been playing some of the best football that I've seen him play before this Broncos game. He's been playing some of the best football that I've seen him play. And he was doing it without CeeDee Lamb and with George Pickens, who just got there to start this season, right? And playing fantastic football. So Dak Prescott been playing his ass off, man. And so I hate to see, I hate this performance for him because this was just, this was just an F performance. 188 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Man, just a rough day at the office. Just a rough day at the office. Rough day all the way around for that offense. Javonte Williams did get in the end zone. 2 rushing touchdowns, had 13 carries for 41 yards. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens both get around 75 yards. Neither of them scores a touchdown in this one, but just a terrible game for Dak, man. And I think the Dak haters are billed as a large there's a large swath of football fans that just cannot give Dak any credit when it's due. Like, but it's some of that comes with the stigma of being the Cowboys, right? So you either get too much credit or too much hate, one or the other. And I think sometimes Dak falls into there. He's either getting too much praise or he's getting way too much hate. And I tend to lean that Dak gets a lot of hate. We forget 2 years ago, 2 years ago when Lamar won MVP, that was arguably Dak Prescott's MVP season. That was a Dak Prescott MVP season. He just couldn't. He just could not bring it home. That could have been a season that was an MVP worthy for Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? But Lamar won that one in a down, kind of awkward MVP year, and then of course he follows it up with that historic performance last year that should have won him a legitimate MVP in my mind. But he loses that one to Josh Allen, and I can't help but think that the MVP that he had just got the year before, I think that one played into people's minds, man. I think it did in the MVP voting. But no, Dak's been playing great. He really is. And then look at my dog Day One Game Jabril. He said, as an Eagles fan, he said he's even as crazy as it sounds, he's a Dak supporter. He said he's a Dak supporter, man, and which is rare to hear. I'm telling you, I can't believe you said that in public. I can't believe you said that on live television, Day One Game Jabril. Everybody, we know you're an Eagles fan. You done out here and told the world that you a Dak Prescott supporter. Boy, you better be careful. They're going to revoke your Eagles fan pass, dog. You better be careful now. But no, man, Dak's been balling. And so for me, man, it was Drake May and Dak Prescott. Man, I was going back and forth on which one of those is number one. They could be 1A and 1B. You know what I mean? Like, that's how well that I feel like Dak had been playing, especially considering the heavy lifting he's doing, man. You know what I mean? He didn't have his number one guy, who's a top 5 guy in the league when healthy on most people's boards, and CeeDee Lamb. He's throwing to George Pickens, who's mercurial, to say the least. And, you know, he's hot and cold, and he just got there. Right, so getting on board, getting acclimated, getting comfortable with each other, right? And so to put up the numbers and performances that he's been doing, considering that, and having to have the weight of that Pooh defense weighing you down as well, and to see the way he'd been performing before this game, man, I thought he's been playing fantastic. My dog Day One Game Jarrell says because he used to play QB, also he can see his skill, he can respect the skill set. And then he sees the way that the Cowboys fans keep disrespecting him. No, see, that's real. I can appreciate that, Day One Game Jarrell. I can respect that, man. He said, hey, man, look, hey, I used to play quarterback, man, so I can recognize the goods. And yeah, I'm with you, dog. I'm with you, man. Because, you know, it's like, as much as I can't stand the funky ass Ravens, like, y'all heard me just now. Like, man, man, Lamar Jackson is a fantastic quarterback. Lamar Jackson for me, and he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. But I think Lamar Jackson, like, bro, I don't know if there's not 10 more talented quarterbacks all time than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a top 10 quarterback. he's a top 10 most talented quarterback we've ever seen, right? And then even on the list of like all time, I think he's an all-time quarterback. I really do, right? And so for me, like I look at a guy, and I don't mean this to be a knock or a bash at all, but I'm not taking Steve Young over Lamar Jackson. Steve Young's got a Super Bowl. Lamar doesn't have a Super Bowl. And God willing, or if I can have anything to do with it, he won't win one in Baltimore, right? I don't mind. I would love to see Lamar win himself a Super Bowl before he retires, right? As long as it's not in Baltimore. So whenever he finally gets tired of John Harbaugh and goes to play somewhere else, then maybe go get your ring then. But as long as you're in Baltimore, no, man, I'm sorry. But no, so I say that to say Lamar, from what I've seen, we've never had an athlete as proficient a passer at the position as he is. Like that style of athlete. We've had athletes that are proficient passers. Steve Young was a fantastic athlete and a very proficient passer, but he's not in the same universe of athlete as Lamar Jackson. We've seen Michael Vick, who also fantastic athlete, may be more athletic than Lamar. Pure athleticism, probably. I still think pure athleticism, I think he's probably faster than Lamar. I really do. But he's not at all the passer Lamar is. Like, so we've seen this combination, right? We saw Randall Cunningham, we saw Cordell Stewart, we see Josh Allen now, who gets his a different way, right? But we still see it. But Lamar Jackson has an all-time skill set. He's very efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. Has a right to be super accurate. I mean, so yeah, man. I said it to say I respect what you're saying. I can also appreciate Lamar Jackson's game and what he is to the game, even though he's a Ravens fan and I'm a diehard Steelers fan. So that was a long way to say I feel you. I feel you. There, goodness gracious. But no, so rough one for Dallas. We'll see how they rebound going forward. And then if you're Denver, right? Kansas City is starting to kind of pick it back up. I I'm gonna leave that alone. We're gonna talk about Kansas City in a minute. But Denver, number one in that division right now. They're playing some up and down ball, but they are winning games. 5-2, I want to say, and so they need to to keep the pressure or keep Kansas City chasing, right? And they do have the head-to-head victory over Kansas City as well. That's going in their favor. So Denver's still in the driver's seat of that division for sure. Let's see how long they can ride that out. Let's see a quick one here. Tennessee on the road at Indianapolis. Indianapolis dominates this one. MVP Jonathan Taylor. He's MVP JT. And it pisses me off. I know I talked about it Sunday, and I think I might have talked about it last Wednesday. It pisses me off hearing the upswell for Daniel Jones to get MVP consideration. I'm like, what are we watching? And what are we doing? What are we watching? What are we doing? Daniel Jones is a byproduct of Jonathan Taylor. Because we know who and what Daniel Jones is when he's asked to do the heavy lifting. So if you're going to be the MVP, it's because you're doing the heavy lifting. Not because you're efficient in a secondary capacity. Not because you're now performing in a secondary capacity. Not before statistically you're playing great ball, right? He's putting up great numbers, but he's doing it in a secondary capacity. No. If there's going to be an MVP candidate from the Colts team, it's Jonathan Taylor. And it should be without question. Jonathan Taylor in this game carries 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, including one that went for 80 to the crib. The special athlete. He also had 20 yards receiving, had a receiving touchdown. The receiving touchdown was damn near a handoff. It was like a touch pass, one of those situations. It would have been some style of record if he got 3 rushing touchdowns consecutively against the same opponent, I believe. But that last one, officially a pass. And so it goes down as a receiving touchdown. But a 3-touchdown day, 12 carries, 150 yards. Just fantastic performance. Michael Pittman has a big day, 8 for 95 and a touchdown as well. And so MVP Jonathan Taylor leading those Colts to another win. And man, they are rolling. My Steelers play them next. I'm worried. All right, I said it. I'm worried, dog. This could be ugly. We've struggled in the run game out the gate, right? The Jets and Breece Hall and Justin Fields almost cost me my week 1 because we couldn't stop the run. I mean, we haven't really stopped the run effectively for the majority of the season, and now we get the best running back in football on the hottest team in football with a fantastic offensive line moving furniture, and now they come into, they're coming to Pittsburgh on fire, and my Steelers are sitting here scrambling. We signed 3 safeties today. And we signed 3 safeties today, Steeler Nation, because that's how bad we need the help. Because Juan Thornhill and Chuck Clark are going to cause somebody to have a stroke watching them play and try to tackle or cover. And so we went and traded for Kyle Duggar from the Patriots. We signed Derek Forrester from the Commanders. And there's talks that I think we were no, maybe that was just a post. I don't think that was real. But we signed 2 for sure today. And we're still trying to make a move receiver. So man, this is a scary proposition for my Steelers, man, coming up, going against this red hot Jonathan Taylor-led Indianapolis Colts team. But he's playing fantastic football. MVP forerunner in my mind. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Nobody in the world could have imagined that Danny Dimes was going to be considered an MVP candidate and that the Colts are going to be the number 1 seed, dominating everybody they play, essentially being 7-1. Their 1 loss coming on the road against the Rams, who are a very good opponent, and they lost that game by shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody could have seen this coming. That's Jonathan Taylor, all right? So I want that man to get all his flowers, all his due, man, because he should be it's pissing me off hearing this Daniel Jones MVP chatter. And Daniel Jones is playing good ball. I don't mean to say that. Daniel Jones is playing good ball. 21 for 29, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's playing fantastic ball, but I don't want to act like he's preparing a meal. No. He's in the kitchen in line with a plate like everybody else, right? And he's getting his serving off of Jonathan Taylor's plate. So I wanted to be recognized as such. That's all I'm saying. But he's playing fantastic ball, and I'm happy for him. I am, man. He's playing well. I don't know. He looks to salvage his career. I can't imagine that the Colts let him get away, right? We've seen what happened with the Vikings letting Sam Darnold out the building. I can't imagine that the Colts are going to make the same mistake. And so we'll see what his contract looks like this time next year. Right. And so he's made himself a cool $40 million. I'd have to imagine just the way these quarterback contracts go. He's made himself a cool $40 million. And so shout out and kudos to Daniel Jones, man, assuming he keeps it going. Getting into Sunday night's nonsense, man. Green Bay on the road against my Steelers. They get it done, man. They dominate the second half. It's the tale of 2 halves. They dominate the second half. They win this game 35-25. Aaron Rodgers does not get his revenge in the loss. There's a lot of stuff to point to in this one. I'll spare y'all these gory details, or maybe I'll spare myself. I don't want to have to relive it if I don't want to. Fantastic performance by Jordan Love. Y'all, it should be no secret. Y'all know I love Mr. Jordan Love, man. I'm a big proponent of Jordan Love. He was fantastic in this game. 20 for 29, or 29 for 37, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. There was a stretch in this game where Jordan Love completed 20 straight completions. He had a 20 completion streak going in the second half of this ballgame. That streak didn't end until early in the fourth quarter, I want to say, or midway through the fourth quarter. So he was just playing fantastic. Also, there was a couple favorable bounces in this game. A couple very unfortunate calls that went against my Steelers, and a couple just lucky bounces, lucky breaks, man. It just sometimes it happens like that. So I'm not gonna take it away from Jordan Love. He had a huge 60-yard third down conversion to Tucker Kraft, who also went crazy, right? 7 for 143 and 2 touchdowns. We couldn't do anything with him, but 60 yards of that was on a scramble play. Love is either getting sacked or breaks out of a sack and throws a wobbler, right? It floated in the air. Tucker Kraft, my goodness, I'm losing my words. Tucker Kraft finds a way to corral it, breaks the tackle, rumbles, and turns to a 60 game. What should have been a sack turns to a 60 game, flipping the field. They score on that drive. And then later on, he had another play similar. He's getting hit. He chucks another one. It hangs and floats in the air. My safety, Juan Thornhill, misplays the ball terribly. He's waiting for the ball to come down. He's just standing in front of Christian Watson waiting on the ball. He's 3 yards too shy, jumps and can't even touch the ball. It should have been an easy interception. Instead, it's a 40-yard conversion on another third down by Christian Watson, puts them right there at the 5-yard line. They get a rushing touchdown by Josh Jacobs the next play. So there's a couple plays for me as a Steelers fan that I can point to that help kind of explain what happened, but it still doesn't excuse how bad my defense has been playing. I mean, we are just getting honey roasted, man. Darius Slay, I hate that to call you out like this, big dog. I don't think Darius Slay is homesick. You know what? Hey, Day One Gauge Real, man, if he's still in. Your boy Darius Slay, he's homesick, dog. I watched the Richard Sherman podcast. Most weeks I watch it. Darius Slay has a recurring guest spot on Richard Sherman's podcast. So every week he's on the show. He recaps the Steelers game with Sherm. And then, they just talk about news around the league. And every time he's on this show, he talks about the Eagles and it's we. He always catches himself. So when they have to talk about the Eagles, like, yeah, man, we just boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, my fault. I'm in Philadelphia. Like, it's one of those. Like, Darius Slay is obviously not over his ex, dog. We've all seen it. We all got a homeboy. We know what it looks like. He's not over his ex. Everything he does and says is talking about his ex. The cricket said, "Oh yeah, my bad. Not Philadelphia. I'm in Pittsburgh." Or no, not Philadelphia. I'm in Philadelphia. I mean them. Philadelphia. So it's always that. And then also his heart's not in it, dog. I'm talking about he is just walking around out there. There's a touchdown on the left sideline on a jet sweep to Savion Williams. Darius Slay has 15 yards to cut him off at an angle, and he jogs and lollygags. I mean, it's just terrible, man. So Darius Slay, his heart's not in it. He said he misses his ex. He wants to go back home. He's homesick. We gotta put it's bad enough now to this point, and he's been missing tackles and not playing his best ball. He hasn't played well all season, but this game against the Packers really made it hard to ignore. Like, he's just giving up on plays. Like, he's just not invested, dog. And it came to that point where I saw the same thing for George Pickens last year as well, which is why I understand why we had to make that move. He's on film just giving up on plays, just not even being interested in trying to make a play. Darius Slay is giving that injury, bro. Especially in this game against the Packers. He ain't want no smoke. He ain't want no parts of nobody. And he's out there going through the motions, man. He's homesick. And so, be that as it may, man, fantastic game from Jordan Love and the Packers. And yeah, they're rolling, man. They play damn good. Let me see. Yeah, Tucker Kraft really the star in this one, in tandem with a 7 for 143, 2 touchdowns, including that 60-yard broken play that I talked about. Josh Jacobs had a quiet day. He did get the touchdown, but 33 yards on 13 carries. And then Christian Watson making his first return from injury. He had 4 catches for 85 yards. And like I said, 40 of that on another broken play. That it was a punt pass that should have been intercepted. Instead, it's a 40-yard conversion that led to that touchdown for Josh Jacobs. And so, but the Packers played well, man, and they earned that win, and they deserved it. Then let's see the Monday night game. Washington on the road against Kansas City. Kansas City rolls. Washington, Marcus Mariota making the start for them. Again, he's been, or we know that Jaden Daniels has been in and out of the lineup with injury. So Marcus Mariota makes this start. It's an ugly one. 200 yards, passing 1 touchdown, throws 2 interceptions, also loses a fumble in this one. Terry McLaurin made his return to the starting lineup. Him and Debo, both they've been injured and banged up. Terry has 54 yards and a touchdown in this one. But biggest story in this one, the Chiefs rolled. Patty turned the ball over in this one, but they do get the win. He goes 25-34, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions. The first one, I want to say, was very impressive interception by Marcus Lattimore on the left sideline. So very impressive interception there. Marcus Lattimore had a very rough season and a half. Last season, getting traded to the Commanders. He never really got on his equal footing, but he was traded and coming off of an injury. This season, he's still been getting picked on and honey roasted. So he definitely needed to make that play. The play that he didn't affect the game at all. Kareem Hunt, 40 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Pacheco, 60 yards on the ground. Kelsey had one of his better games, 99 yards. It's a lot of guys at 99 yards this week, y'all. If I'm keeping track of the stats, everybody's getting a +1. It's like, for me, it's like putting the volume on 9. I'm not going to put the volume on 9. It's going to 10. If I'm in your car, if I'm at your house, and your volume in the car, your volume on your TV's at 9, I'm going to at least ask you, like, hey, man, let's put it on 10, man. Go ahead and put it on 10, big dog. I just can't help myself. Travis Kelce, 6 for 99 and a touchdown. I think I said Kareem Hunt had 40 yards rushing in a touchdown. He also had a receiver touchdown in this one. Rashee Rice, He's been the guy that they were hoping he was going to be when he got back. He's integrated himself back into this lineup nicely. He has 9 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown in this one as well. And the Chiefs looking to be finding their footing. And so, they are, they're in the process of trying to stack some wins. So we'll see if they actually catch their stride and keep it going. But nonetheless, big win for them Monday night against a depleted Washington Commanders team still. But no, they are playing well, man, and they got a much needed win to kind of keep themselves in range of this division lead with the Denver Broncos. And so, kudos there. And then actually I'm looking through, I want to say that's all the games from Sunday. Now, I do remember this time, man. Shout out to my dog Day One Game Jarrell, he had to remind me last week. But we've got Thursday football to talk about. So tomorrow night's game, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the Lamar Jackson-led Baltimore Ravens will be hosting the reformed Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. They will play them on Thursday night. And you know what? I think I've got this Baltimore away at Miami, but that's actually backwards. This game is in Baltimore, so let me actually fix that. Baltimore is hosting the Dolphins, and I've got Baltimore and Lamar Jackson getting a win, man, in his first game back. I'm going 28-20. I'm thinking I gave the Dolphins 20 points in this one because honestly, just the way that they picked it up and played this last game, maybe they get some momentum going, and maybe that's the spark they need to get back to playing the way that they can, at least on offense. And then also, this Ravens defense is still suspect, right? They're still suspect. Now, last week's game against the Bears notwithstanding, there's been a lot more bad than good. And so I think there's an avenue there or a chance there that if Tua is able to kind of build on that momentum, Tua and the rest of that offense, mind you, if they're able to build on that momentum, then yeah, this is a defense that has shown that you can score some points on here if you get it going. And so I think that may be the case. But I think honestly, Lamar is going to come out here and put on a show. I really do. I'm not going to lie. If this game turns out 42, if the Ravens put up 40 points on the Dolphins, I'm not going to be surprised. If this game is 40-13, Lamar Jackson with 5 total touchdowns, I'm not at all going to be surprised. I definitely expect Lamar Jackson to hit the ground running. Like I said, he was healthy enough. He could have played in Chicago this past Sunday. If not for this Thursday game, I think he would have. But they were prudent. They took the time to be prudent, made sure they gave him the extra time. Now he's got this short week. He's got a weak opponent in his house. The team is feeling good. They're playing with as much momentum now as they've had all year because they've lost the last 4 or 5 in a row. And so I think Lamar, he's definitely got something to prove, if not to himself, then to that fan base, to that organization. And I think they come out there and put on a show, man. So I'm going 28-20. But like I said, if this one gets ugly and Lamar just absolutely goes crazy, I won't be surprised at all. And so, but yeah, man. So there y'all have it. That's week 8. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like I said, I know there was a couple trades today. I know my Steelers made a couple moves, and so I'm definitely familiar with their. All intents and purposes, we're not done. Jacoby Myers is still in Las Vegas right now. He's still wearing black and silver. Instead, we got to get him into black and gold. Omar Khan. I know the Cowboys are desperately trying to replace Michael Parsons still. They've made calls about Max Crosby from the Raiders. They've made calls to the Bengals about Trey Hendrickson as well. So they're still trying to add a difference maker to that defense after letting a difference maker leave your building. But whatever. We ain't got to talk about it no more. But no, be that as it may. I mean, that's it. That's all. That's all. Man, I appreciate all y'all that came through and rock with your dog tonight for sure. Now y'all know, before we get out of here, we are going to do that real member roll call, man. Shout out to everybody that was in the building today. Shout out to my dog, Keandre, man, Captain the shit, man. First one in the door today, man. I appreciate your homeboy. Shout out to Mon Dukes in the building. Wishing everybody a blessed show as always. Auntie was in the building as well. I appreciate you, lady. Let me see here. My dog, man, Day One Gang Jarrell. I'm looking for you. Day One Gang Jarrell in the building as well. As always, man, I appreciate your homeboy. And man, y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on with the rest of y'all, man. Y'all know what's going on. We say the same thing every week. You can go ahead and say it with me now at home. If I forgot to say your name, Charge it to my head. And don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you, big dog. Appreciate all the love support as always, man. Y'all know what's going on. Tomorrow night, make sure you tap in, lock in, enjoy Thursday Night Football. Tap back in on Sunday, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., top of the morning, 10 o'clock, Sunday Fun Day Football preview show with your dog, man. We'll preview Sunday's slate of games. We'll recap Thursday night, likely victory by the Ravens over the Dolphins as well. And until then, man, y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Y'all enjoy yourself for the night. Peace.